Ladies and gentlemen, digital investors, welcome back to another video. If you're a returning viewer and you want to support the show, just drop a like and a comment, and that is much appreciated. So today we're going to be going over Kanye West says Bitcoin and crypto will power true liberation of humanity. This was a couple days ago on the Joe Rogan podcast, and this isn't the first time Kanye West has openly spoken positive about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But what he says is pretty interesting, and it's just the fact that it's on the Joe Rogan show, and when things are on the Joe Rogan show, they get to a lot of people, right? A very large audience gets to hear it, especially when Joe Rogan is interviewing someone like Kanye West, right? I think the video right now has over 6 million views, and it's only 2 days old, so I'm sure it's going to continue to basically get some more exposure on cryptocurrency. We also have a whale alert. Crypto user moves 1.1 billion in Bitcoin, which is a very, very big transaction. You do not see that too often. I don't think it's the largest transaction ever, but it's pretty big. We also have US regulators to track Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP transactions above 250, so make sure you stick around for this, because I mean this kind of directly affects you with taxes. Harvest Finance 24 million attack triggers 570 million bank run in latest DeFi exploit. We've been seeing a lot of DeFi projects where this happens to, right? We all saw the story with Yam. These projects, they just get hacked, or there's some type of just all shadiness going on. So we'll go over that, and then we'll wrap up with Russia's central bank unveils plan to test digital currency. We'll also go over prices and everything like that. But with that said, let's just start off with the Kanye West stuff. So one of the world's best-selling artists is giving Bitcoin a big shout out, referring to the top cryptocurrency as the liberator of America and humanity. What Kanye West says is Jack Dorsey decentralized Twitter 2 months before it really hit, because he was talking to the Bitcoin guys. And these are guys that really have a perspective on what the true liberation of America and humanity will be. A lot of the tech guys were able to use the new highways, the new information highways, and create the next frontier of our existence, while the powers of our political system are still anchoring on the Electoral College, which was based around slavery. In July, the crypto-friendly rap star revealed his intentions to run for president of the United States. The announcement on Twitter immediately went viral, garnering 500,000 retweets and 1 million likes over the course of a weekend. Then it goes over, I think they're quoting a tweet that he put out. He tweeted out decentralized and says, in the same podcast, West says he believes it is his, quote, calling to be the leader of the free world. So this is the Joe Rogan Experience podcast number 1554. If any of you guys want to watch the entire thing, I've not watched the entire thing. I just watched the clip. And yeah, like as I said before, Kanye West has talked about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin before. We know he's bullish on it. So not much of a shocker, but again, more exposure on the Joe Rogan podcast. We know how many views those things gets, and we're just seeing the crypto adoption coming slowly but surely. It's coming. It's really starting to kind of speed up now. I can see that more people are coming in now than before, right? Like we know there's more Bitcoin addresses now than at the blow off top of $20,000. There's also more people holding, right? Funds aren't really moving around. There's increased search activity. We're having, the PayPal news that came out. It's easier to obtain and trade Bitcoin. Soon it'll be very easy to shop with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So all this stuff is in the pipeline, as we know. And as I was saying on yesterday's video, this is just a patient person's game. Moving on, we have a whale alert. Crypto user moves 1.1 billion in Bitcoin. An anonymous crypto holder just completed the largest dollar value Bitcoin transaction in history. So it's important to note that this isn't the most Bitcoin ever sent, right? This is about like 88,000 Bitcoin, we'll see, but it's not the most Bitcoin ever sent. It's the most amount of Bitcoin valued in US dollars that has ever been sent. So just to get some of the confusion out of the air here. So according to on-chain data, a Bitcoin trader moved more than 88,857 Bitcoin worth roughly 1.14 billion for a fee of only $3.58, which guys, 1.14 billion for a $3.58 fee. I will take that all day long. This transaction is the largest movement of any cryptocurrency by fiat value. Okay, so not by Bitcoin, but by fiat value, with the Bitfinex exchange setting the previous record in April. They transferred 161,500 BTC, which is worth 1.1 billion at the time, for a fee of 68 cents. And neither of these transactions were actually the largest amount of Bitcoin to ever be moved. The largest amount of Bitcoin to ever be moved was 550,000 Bitcoin. It was a transaction made on November 16th of 2011 by the Mt. Gox exchange. It was worth only 1.32 million at that time. So that amount of Bitcoin could be liquidated for more than $7 billion today. So that is pretty crazy, guys. Breaking another record today. And this is what I mean when I say every day we get good news. Every day we build the bull case further, and it's more and more excited to be in this space because we're literally seeing it happen. I feel like those of us in this crypto space have such this unique opportunity, and it's really weird to see, our predictions, our forecasts, what we think is going to happen. We're actually realizing that happening, which is awesome to see, right? Now, U.S. regulators to track Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP transactions above $250, a proposed amendment to the U.S. Bank Secrecy Act indicates an increase in the severity of regulations towards cryptocurrencies. A press release from the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, and the FSB announces that these entities will receive public comments on the proposal beginning October of 23rd. The proposal seeks to modify the regulations on the rules known as record-keeping and travel rule. If approved, financial institutions would be required to report information regarding transfers with a value greater than $250 for international transactions. Currently, the rule applies to transactions greater than $3,000, making this proposal a significant reduction in the amount of the transfer. Comments will be accepted until November 23rd of the current year. So by them dropping that from $3,000 all the way to $250, it seems like they just want to get every single transaction, right? They want to be having this stuff all documented. The regulatory agencies clarify that the amendment will only apply to transactions that begin or are conducted outside the United States. In addition, the agencies indicate that transactions with virtual currencies and digital assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP also apply for the rule. The proposed rule also further clarifies that those regulations apply to transactions above the applicable threshold involving convertible virtual currencies, as well as transactions involving digital assets with legal tender status, by clarifying the meaning of money is used in certain defined terms. In the case of these assets, the standard applies to domestic and cross-border transactions. Agencies estimate that BTC transactions alone have grown from $366 billion in 2019 to $312 billion through 2020 and through August. They also indicate that there has been an increase in Bitcoin's market cap. In that sense, the agencies point out, malign actors have used cryptocurrencies to facilitate international terrorist financing, weapons proliferation, sanctions evasion, and transnational money laundering, as well as to buy and sell controlled substances, stolen and fraudulent identification documents and access devices, counterfeit goods, malware, and other computer hacking tools, firearms, and toxic chemicals. So this is the estimated USD transaction volume, clocking in at 1.5 billion. And some of you may or may not remember this. The IRS asks Americans if they have Bitcoin. Although the amendment to the Bank Secrecy Act will not affect domestic transactions, Americans will be required to provide information about their assets and cryptocurrencies. According to an amendment to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service's mandatory form, U.S. citizens will be required to answer the following. If you engaged in a transaction involving virtual currency, you will need to answer the question on page 1 of Form 1040 or 1040 SR. Therefore, the citizen must say whether they received, sold, traded, or made any other transaction involving, quote, any virtual currency. If the citizen only had funds in Bitcoin without moving them, and then they can check the no option, otherwise the answer must be positive. So if you've done any type of, transferring of Bitcoin or into other assets, buying and selling, they want to know, which, are we surprised? They pretty much want to know everything at this point, down to your last $250. If you guys like daily cryptocurrency news, like the video you're watching now, we cover Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything going on in the crypto space, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. If you also like to support the show, liking helps a ton. It picks it up in the YouTube algorithm, it shows it to more people, and we get to continue growing the channel. So let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video. Now, our coin prices for today, we have Bitcoin at 13,000, Ethereum has dropped down a bit to 393, along with XRP at 24 cents, Chainlink at $11.83, Litecoin at $56, Cardano at 10 cents, EOS at 264, $2.64, obviously. Stellar at 8 cents, Tezos at $2.10. Let's see what VeChain's doing. We haven't looked up on VeChain for a while, so VeChain's at 1.1 cents, IOTA's at 27, and Filecoin, we covered Filecoin a couple days ago, what it was. Make sure you check out that video if you haven't. That is sitting at $34. Our Fear and Greed Index for today needed a refresh. It is sitting right at 75. And now also we have the Harvest Finance 24 million attack triggers 570 million bank run in latest DeFi exploit. An arbitrage trade exploiting weak points in DeFi protocol Harvest Finance led to some 24 million in stablecoins being siphoned away from the project's pools on Monday, according to CoinGecko. So according to reports, an attacker used a flash loan, a technique that allows a trader to take on massive leverage without any downside to manipulate DeFi prices for profit. The exploit sent the platform's native token farm tumbling by 65% in less than an hour, followed by the project's total value locked, which dropped from over 1 billion before the exploit to 430 million as of press time. The funds were eventually swapped for Bitcoin, but not before being swept through Ethereum mixing service Tornado Cash. Mixing the coins didn't keep the Harvest Finance team in the dark for long. The person behind the exploit is, quote, well known in the crypto community after leaving a significant amount of personally identifiable information, according to the project's Discord. All 7 Bitcoin wallets holding the attacker's funds are also known. The anonymous developers behind the project do not want to dox the party, but are instead offering a $100,000 bounty for convincing the attacker to send back the funds. For the attacker, they say, you've proven your point. If you can return the funds to the users, it will be greatly appreciated by the community, including many bystanders. It also goes on to explain what flash loans are. I'm not going to get into that on this video. If you guys want to read more about this, then this is the title, and it's coming right from CoinDesk, so you can feel free to go and read through it further. But yeah, guys, so another happening in the DeFi space. I think that we're going to see a lot of these things continue to happen, in all sorts of, you could have a project that gets hacked, that gets exploited, right? Something like this. You could also have projects that start exit scamming, as things get really excited in the crypto space. And as we start to embark on this, next bull run here, you're going to see a lot of scams, and it's going to be really important to keep your money in your pocket. Don't lose money on these scams, especially once you make money, right? Once you make a ton of money in crypto, well, now you start playing with bigger numbers. Now you got more to lose. You have actual real money to lose. And if people know you got money, they want to get it out of your pocket. So you have to be really careful with what you invest in. There are so many DeFi projects that I have researched that sound awesome. They sound great, but still, I'm sitting out because to me, it's just too early. I'm just unsure. And, I don't like to invest in things that I don't completely understand. And, that might be an approach you want to take too, right? Completely understand a project before you invest in it. Understand if the project can be exploited. What weaknesses does it have? What risk are you assuming? Who are the founders of this project? Who is the team running it? So many questions that you should answer or know before investing into it. Unfortunately, like I'm sure a lot of people who invested into this probably didn't even know that this exploit was possible, right? They probably thought this was completely secure, but not all blockchains are created equal. Not all projects are created equal, right? Some things are better, more secure than others. So make sure you're investing in the right stuff, because it sucks to lose money. I've lost a lot of money in the past. I'm sure you guys have lost money even outside of crypto. It's never good to be caught up in one of those projects. If you guys were here a couple of years ago, you remember BitConnect, and I bet there's probably going to be a lot more BitConnects this time around than there were last time around, just because there's more people. The hackers have gotten better, they've gotten smarter, and it's unfortunately we're going to see it. But by calling it out when you do see it, hopefully we can help people. Now, we also have Russia's central bank unveils plan to test digital currency. The head of the Central Bank of Russia, Elvira Nabulina, I hope I'm saying that right, announced at an online conference that the pilot test phase of the digital ruble could be launched before 2021 expires. According to Russian news agency, after the discussion of the consultation report takes place, we collect feedback by the end of the year. Then we will process them. If a decision is made on the feasibility of launching the digital ruble, we will prepare a full-fledged concept. Then, in our opinion, there should be a stage of piloting with a limited number of users in order for everything to be worked out, so that we understand how it works. We consider such piloting to be possible somewhere by the end of next year. The head of Russia's central bank also stressed that it's not the goal of the digital ruble to replace paper money. They say we do not set the task of ousting some kind of money. It will be, in fact, the third form of money, along with cash and non-cash, which now exists. So they want their CBDC to basically be an enhancement to their currency, not a replacement to their currency. So it's a very key thing to be taking away here, right? At first, when these CBDs came out, a lot of people thought that, and from the outside, look this way, like, oh, people want to replace their cash with these CBDCs, but we're seeing a lot of, no, we're not doing away completely with cash yet. These are enhancements. Now, they'll probably phase out cash as time goes along, as more and more people willingly stop using cash. I think the number of people using cash will be so minuscule that it'll practically be like, practically nobody using cash. They go on to say, in terms of data privacy, the digital ruble will have no feature of anonymity. There will be no anonymity in the sense that there is in cash, but it is assumed that confidentiality will be strengthened. Maximum confidentiality is the main task when introducing the digital ruble. The development of the digital ruble is a step in the direction of digital transformation, says the regulator. In our opinion, it fits very organically into what is called the development of the digital economy as a whole. Digital transformation is taking place. Of course, there must be a transformation of the settlement system. Very, very cool, guys. So now we know that Russia is coming out. For a long time, it's been unclear with Russia, right? Are they banning it? Are they coming out with it? Kind of same thing with India a little bit. India can't make its mind up. Do they want cryptocurrencies or do they not want them? Do they want to ban them or do they want to embrace them? They're like it seems like all these countries are all over the place because there's certain sections of government that are for it. There are certain sections of government that are against it. People are also educating themselves on a daily basis. People can clearly see the advantages of blockchain. They also just want to make sure that they do it right, which causes delays. So it's just a big kind of mess right now. But the cool thing is that Bitcoin and crypto doesn't care, right? Whether this mess gets sorted or not, the dollar devaluation and money printing and the amount of adoption coming into Bitcoin will boost the price. Whether these countries decide to embrace digital currencies or not doesn't really matter. It will help if they do, right? Because it'll get more people into it, have more people, buy into it without being scared that, they're breaking laws or, they're going to get in trouble or something like that, right? The whole regulatory clarity thing. But overall, it doesn't really matter, right? Cryptos are going to do their thing. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified every single time that I upload. I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you all on the next video. All right?